Now let's talk about the greater and lesser signs that are defined over here. Let's zoom in. By saying list greater and lesser over here and a type, I'm defining that this list will be of type string, which means that every member that I add to it will have to be of type string. This definition is called generics. Okay, when you define a class with a greater and a lesser and a type in between, it's called generics. And the logic behind it says that you want to have lists of strings or ints or any other object. You want them to make sure that you don't make mistakes. So you want them to make sure that you don't add a string to a number or a number to a string, but you don't want to write new classes for that or new types for that. So you can define a type and define that it will get the actual type of it as what we call a generic parameter. So let's do another list. New list of int. Okay. Now notice that when I say list of, it opens the T and says represent a strongly typed list of objects that can be accessed by index. T, the type of the element in the list. So in this case, I want to have the type int. Great. And let's add, I don't know, 40, 56, I think, and 34, I think. Just add these numbers over here, and list number 2 can get ints. We can see that its add parameter will accept an int because it's a list of type int. And if we go over here and we look at the parameter, we can see that L will only accept a parameter of type string because it's a list of type string. Okay? So by defining this between the greater and lesser sign, we define the type that will be used by this list for its items. Now, if I try to add a string to list number 2, I will get an error saying that can't convert string to int. And the same will be over here. If I try to add a number to the first list, can't convert from int to string. Great. So the generic sign, the greater and lesser, in the context of a new class, means that this class will only accept members of type string, and this list will only accept member of type int. We'll see that quite a lot in the migrated code. I'll show it to you in a second, but let's first of all run it with debug and see how it operates. So we can see that L has 3 values and L2 has 3 values, and these values are ints. Perfect.